Hi, I'm Joey.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Cami.
Hi, I'm Nicole.
And we're doing the 1980s.
Hi, this is Stephanie Minnis, and you're watching Channel 2 News. Today I bring you a segment called Fads in the 80s. Today I'm going to be asking people the perplexing question: hear the word 80s, what comes to mind? And what's your example of a fad in the 80s? I'm about ready to hit the streets of Pennsylvania. Hi, this is Stephanie, and I'm on the streets of Pennsylvania. I'm gonna go ask people some questions. Come with me. I think I see someone. Hey! I have a question. Hi, how are you? Good. What's an example of a fad of the 80s?
80s. That was happy times. Pac-Man and Michael Jackson.
What comes to your mind when you hear the 80s?
What comes to mind? Well, let's see. The fashion, I think, of suits and bright colors, bright workout clothes. That's really what it was.
Thank you so much. Bye. What is your name?
Maureen Renheiser.
Okay, and what are some 80s fads?
I think big hair was in back then, and everybody was into Madonna back then. Whitney Houston was big, I think. And also, I think that was the generation or the decade that Live Aid was a big thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they were collecting money for Ethiopia, I think.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye. The 1980s was an era of tremendous population growth around the world, surpassing even the 1970s and the 1990s, and arguably being the largest in human history. I want to be a nurse when I grow up.
Did you ever think about being a doctor?
A doctor, that's a man's job.
Things are changing. Maybe you should read this.
Whoa, women are having more opportunities now.
Yeah, don't you know what I do?
Actually, no. What?
I'm in pharmaceutical sales. You know that I'm the first woman that my manager hired?
Oh, really?
Really? They didn't hire very many women. It was mostly men that had those jobs. Now women are starting to get those opportunities.
I wonder how things will be in 2015. What's in my 80s fridge? Some food that originated in the 80s are bagged salads, Healthy Choice frozen meals, Doritos, Jell-O pudding pops, tofu, and Hamburger Helper. Fun fact, McDonald's Chicken McNuggets were put on its ever-expanding menu in 1981, changing the lives of children everywhere.
Everyone, this is Nicole, and I'm going to be talking about fashion from the 80s. In the 80s, most people wore bright colors and had big hair. These two shirts would be great examples of what people would wear in the 80s. Another popular thing in the 80s was big jewelry and lots of accessories. Here are some examples. Other fashionable things in the 80s were leg warmers, high-waisted pants, crop tops, knee-length skirts, puffer jackets, and turtlenecks. Not only am I going to talk about fashion, but I'm also going to talk about the trends of the 80s. I'm going to be talking about the movie trends, and I'm pretty sure that most of you have seen these movies. These movies are The Goonies, Back to the Future, Dirty Dancing, The Outsiders, The Little Mermaid, and Ghostbusters. Now I'm going to talk about the car trends. First on the list is the Turbo Wagon. Then there's the Mercedes, the Toyota, the Porsche, the Buick Grand National, and the BMW. And now, here are the video game trends. First on the list is Pac-Man, Tetris, Donkey Kong, Super Mario Bros., Frogger, Defender, Centipede, and Dig Dug. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the major events that happened in the 80s. The major events are Iran hostage crisis, Mount St. Helena erupts, John Lennon is assassinated, the Space Shuttle Columbia is launched, Vietnam War Memorial opens in Washington, D.C., and a huge poison gas leak at Union Carbide plant in Bhai Hopal, India happens. Ronald Reagan was the president in the 80s after Jimmy Carter and before George W. Bush. Oprah is the most influential woman in the world. Some of the Broadway shows that came out in the 80s are West Side Story, The Music Man, Sweeney Todd, Les Mis, Cats, Little Shop of Horrors, Oliver, Peter Pan, Annie Get Your Gun, Into the Woods, and Phantom of the Opera.
There were many cool inventions of the 1980s. I'm only going to talk about 3 of them. There were contact lenses, disposable cameras, and portable computers. The good things about contact lenses is that you didn't have to go to a store, waiting for a line to get a prescription. You could just go to the store, pick them up, take them home, put them in your eye, and use them. The good things about disposable cameras is you could keep the information that was on the camera, and you could always take the roll, put it into a new camera, and use that roll if you needed to use a camera. And the good things for portable computers is that you could take them wherever you wanted, and you could type whatever you need to type on them, such as information, look up information, and so on and so forth. In 1981, the CPU design was created. A computer scientist named David Patterson directed a project that produced a simpler, cheaper, faster approach to the design of computer central processing units, which are CPUs. This reduced instruction to set computer, or RISC. This makes CPUs more efficient. In 1985, telomerase is discovered, which is an enzyme that promotes cell division and growth. This enzyme is discovered by Elizabeth H. Blackburn, Berkeley grad student Carol Greeter, and Harvard's Jacques femtostat. In 2009, these three are awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine. In 1988, microscope motors were invented. Along with his graduate students, Richard Muller, professor of electrical engineering and computer sciences, produced the first electrical-powered microscope motor. No longer than the width of a human hair, this micromachine helps spawn the field of micro-electromechanical systems, or MEMS. This is used in applications including the auto airbag, which is a device that is triggered by the MEMS device. There were many sports things in the 1980s. I'm going to skip 1980 and 1981 because that takes up too much time. In 1982, Sir Edward Williams Brisbane, Commonwealth Games chairman, is named Australian of the Year. Sydney Swans, the first VFL club outside of Victoria, played their first home game at Sydney Cricket Ground. The Commonwealth Games opened in Brisbane, 1983. In 1984, the USSR announces the boycott of Los Angeles Olympics on May 12, 1984. Tim McCartney, Snape, and Greg Mortimer become the first Australians to reach the summit of Mount Everest on October 3, 1984. An Australian boxer, Jeff Fenech, wins world atomweight title April 26, 1985. In 1886, Nike releases the first Air Jordan shoes in Australia. Pat Cash defeats Ivan Lendl to win Wimbledon's men's single tennis title. In 1989, the Test cricket captain, Alan Border, is named Australian of the Year. Wayne Gardner was inaugural Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix at Phillip Island. Alan Border's Australian cricket team remains Ashes in England August 1st. Cranborough Raiders win their first rugby league grand final, defeating Balmain 19-14. In the mid-1980s, there were many types of music. There was alternative rock, there was alternative rock, soft rock, just mainly rock in general. There was heavy metal, glam metal, hip-hop, country, and I believe R&B, but I'm not sure. There were many artists in the 1980s. I'm only going to mention a few. There was Michael Jackson, there was Whitney Houston, Rick Astley, and Janet Jackson. All of these were the most successful musicians during their time. Their videos became a permanent fixture on MTV and gained a worldwide mass audience. Michael Jackson was the first American artist to have his music videos aired on MTV. Michael Jackson's Thriller album from 1982 is the best-selling album of all time. It is cited as selling as many as 110 million copies worldwide. Now, I might just play a little bit of music for you. You might not know this song by hearing its name, but I'm sure you'll know it once I play it. It's called Jump by Van Halen, I want to say it was. Alright, here we go. It just basically goes on like that for about 2 more minutes.
Coming at you with artists, athletes, and religion, this is Totally 80s. People like David Bowie and Cyndi Lauper are often forgotten in this day and age. The influences of music in the 80s was completely monumental and totally tubular. People love the rush they got while listening to U2, AC/DC, Anthrax, or Bon Jovi. or the serenity of the voices of Lionel Richie, Whitney Houston, Tina Marie, or even Luther Vandross. We mustn't lose sight of the foundation on which we get our music of today. Every single time I turn on the radio, I hear a song that gives me a bit of a throwback to the 80s, with the eccentric beats, with the robotic sounds to the music, from even the lyrics of the music gives me a bit of a nod to the 80s. We mustn't forget that the 80s was the best era of music, and that the music that we play, the music that we listen to, was inspired by the 80s, and that we didn't come up with everything, and that the 80s was the decade where music was at its complete and total best. Now, people in the 80s were all about entertainment, sports, athletes. Athletes such as Muhammad Ali, who was an amazing legendary boxer, to the amazing legendary Muhammad Ali, who's giving this guy a funny look, to the unlikely friendship of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, who were rivalries but became best friends till this day, and even Bruce Jenner. I know, right? Bruce Jenner. Or to this guy rocking the shades, Amber Lee. Or to this guy that's looking off into the distance with his blonde hair, Phil Simms. Slang in the 80s is still prevalent till this day. People all the time say totally. So do I. People say awesome. I still hear that every single day. But there are some phrases such as tubular, bogus, totally awesome, bodacious, rad, and like gag me with a spoon. No one really says those things anymore. But the language we speak, the slang we use today, did not come from this generation. It came from the 80s and maybe even beyond the 80s. But it's still going on today. It's still extremely prevalent today. And there are still some influences from the 80s that are seen every single day in pop culture. Whether we like it or not, the 80s are coming back. Things such as church, morals, and values were extremely important in the 80s. Things such as stopping abortion and making it illegal, to going to church, or if you didn't go to church and you were not a religious person, you'd usually join some type of cult or become a member of the church Scientology. Celebrities such as Kirstie Alley and Tom Cruise are a part of these organizations. And the more celebrities become engaged in these certain things, the more that people today are going to become more engaged in these things.